Body wants to respond. It just needs help.
From pain, you've helped people, with hair loss, pregnancy, allergies, coma, anxiety.
The patient came to me she was diagnosed with melasma. So we did the analysis. It came up with a lot of adrenal fatigue and emotional stress and trauma. So we treated her for maybe twice a week for like about 2 or 3 months. And by the end of that time, the pigmentation all went away. Well, I've always believed that your focus creates your reality.
Wow, it's amazing when you can see the real world, results in front of your eyes and you can see it.
If you have an issue going on and you focus on that issue, it just feeds it. Because the energy healing and holistic health is so different, sometimes they're giving a diagnosis where there's no cure. It's really not true. If you find the underlying reason, which is the why you have what you have, and treat it with the superconscious, body wants to respond. It just needs help.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Duncan. I am so excited, actually very excited. I was just reading this amazing man's chapter in the book, the Superconscious programming book. It's our Superconscious book series. And so it is my honor to introduce you to Dr. Charles. And I'm so excited to have you here, my friend. Would you just quickly give everyone the cliff notes? Because you've done a lot of stuff. Like I'm reading your chapter, I'm like, he's done a heck of a lot. Would you just give everyone a quick introduction to who you are and who you help?
So my name is Charles Coppola. I'm a holistic chiropractor and energy healer. So basically, patients come to me for all kinds of ailments, and depending on what's going on, we always look for the underlying reason behind that. And the majority of that is emotions. And using the superconscious recode is like the best way to eliminate those emotions and reprogram the unconscious mind to heal the body.
Yeah, oh, it is. And you've had some stunning results. Like I was blown away just reading through your chapter, and it felt so good, as I was telling you just before we started, so good to read your impact, from pain. You've helped people, with hair loss, pregnancy, allergies, coma, anxiety. Would you just share a little bit about some of the transformations that you've seen out there and what makes the biggest difference?
So a lot of different stories, but one story is that I really like a lot. The patient came to me she was diagnosed with melasma. Now, melasma is a condition where you get dark spots on the skin. And she was a young lady, and it started bothering her. She went to a dermatologist who actually diagnosed her with melasma. She told her that it's not dangerous, you don't have to worry about it, but there's no cure. He said you can treat it. You can treat it with bleaching creams, chemical peels, or laser therapy. And she also said that the treatment would lighten it, but not make it go away. And that if she went to the sun, it would all come back again. So she was really freaking out over this. It really affected her self-esteem. She tried the creams. It didn't really do anything. So when she came to me, she was a nervous wreck about the whole situation. When she went outside, she was afraid to go in the sun. She wore large brim hats. She gloves, dark glasses. Really changed her life. So we did the analysis, and it came up with a lot of adrenal fatigue and emotional stress and trauma. So we treated her for maybe twice a week for like about 2 or 3 months. And by the end of that time, the pigmentation all went away.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing when you can see the real world, results in front of your eyes and you can see it,
Right. It changed her life.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. And the medical industry has kind of stripped this and given it a name and then nearly laughed at it. And so the idea of the placebo effect is almost seemed like pseudoscience, but everything must be everything must be tested against a placebo. But even as I say those words, people hear placebo effect and it feels like it's some sort of cheap fake trick. But imagine if you change the words to the truth of the placebo is that your beliefs and your system made a sugar pill work, and that's the crucial understanding. Is it something like 34 to I believe, I don't know if 34 is in my head, but it's in the middle 30s, like a third of all results that the big bad pharmaceutical industry can claim, they have to attribute to basically people believing that the thing's going to work. And
Correct.
I wish that the world had a different relationship with, once we get our beliefs and our focus in the right place, what we call a miracle or a healing can take place. Would you speak to a little bit about how focus and beliefs, I guess, creates transformations like this?
Well, I've always believed that your focus creates your reality, and you
Yeah,
always taught that as well.
I
So
do. Yeah.
when you what you focus on really energizes you internally, and if
Yes.
you and it stimulates your unconscious mind, which literally controls everything that goes on in our
Yeah.
bodies. It
Yeah.
affects how we think, how we act, how we behave,
Yeah.
um, what we can do and what we can't do. So your focus, if you focus positively, it's
Yeah.
really gonna make a big difference. If you have an issue going on and you focus on that issue, it just feeds it, and the
Yep.
issue just gets worse.
Yep.
You got to put that aside and just focus on what you want.
Yeah, it's stunning to understand how much that can create change. The studies show there are certain things you can do to increase and decrease this placebo effect. There's ways to have your system believe it more, but it all comes down to one thing: focus, right? Like where your
Right.
focus is. And once you understand that, it's crucial. The hard thing about the unconscious is we're unconscious to it. I always talk to people. I'm like, if you knew the reason why you weren't creating that change in your life, you would have already fixed it. You don't know. It's outside your conscious thoughts. It's in this mysterious realm. And that's what we do with intuition and field work and recode, is allow people to tap into or allow us to help them shift in the invisible, in the transparent or translucent beliefs. So I'm so happy that you're out there doing this work and helping people transform their bodies and their health. So is there another insight from your chapter? I know that's a big insight, but is there another insight that you'd like that brings to mind you'd love to share with the people listening?
Yes. So the holistic health and energy healing is really so different from any other form of health modality.
Right,
Even traditional chiropractics, which how I
right,
graduated in, it's like night and day. And I guess the biggest insight is that I would like people to try to realize that all modalities have a value, and not
mm,
be so fixated on one thing. I mean, if you
mm,
prefer one modality over the other, that's fine. But if it's not
mm.
working for you, to be open minded to a different
Yeah,
modality, even if it's something you don't
yeah.
fully understand or maybe not even fully believe in.
Mm.
So being open minded to the different modalities out there that can really help you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like to consider myself an open-minded skeptic, where I'm open-minded enough to try things on as long as it's not going to cause me any, ill effects. But I'm skeptical, but I try things, and I'm just like you. But I like to think it through and, you know, test it in my system. Be like, does this actually hold up in the real world?
Right.
And so, because that's how I like it. There's a lot of what's the word? There's a lot of things I wish was true. Like I wish that, you could just hold a thought in your mind, like The Secret tells you, and that it just showed up. I wish that was true. But if you actually consider that being true, you think
Right.
it would be chaos at a high school. Like it just, like it just wouldn't work. Like if every little wish you had in your mind would become true, it just doesn't hold up in reality. So I think,
Yeah, that's where the recode comes in. The recode is great.
yeah.
Patients feel a difference usually right away,
Yeah.
to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's right. You got to be it to see it. You have in your life a direct reflection of your unconscious and not a direct reflection of what you meditate on once in a blue moon. So no, it is really important. And I think you'll get this as well, is that I just tell people to try a recode. I'm like, hey, I can explain it and try to give you all the science and everything else. I can give you examples of how it's worked for everybody else, but just try one, just try one, experience one, and if it's for you, great. If it's not, at least you tried. You know what I mean? Because it's, I mean, we've had people who were blind seeing again, cancer's gone, tumors fall
Amazing.
out, like just incredible stuff. And so I love that. Be open-minded to other things and to other modalities because you know there's usually no harm in trying the next one. You know, like there's no if you haven't got the results. Mm, it's a good point.
She with the recode.
Yeah, or just come try a recode. And so, what are some of the challenges that people face when creating, you know, health in their body when they're faced with a diagnosis? Because I guess that's what you really focus on. People say, "I've got this diagnosis." What are some of the biggest challenges?
So the biggest challenges that I come across is that um, because the energy healing and holistic health is so different,
Mm,
patients when they come to me for back pain or they want to, resolve a certain health issue, a lot of times they kind of feel like they know what the problem is, and they want a traditional type of treatment. So when I do my evaluation and
mm,
tell them what I find is the true underlying cause of all this, sometimes it's a challenge to really get them to accept it and then follow through with the care.
mm.
Um, a big part of the my treatment program is like we check all the organ reflex points because
Wow.
nothing in the body functions by itself. Every organ, every gland, every system is working with every other organ, gland, and system in the body. So I want
Right.
to make sure that the whole body is energetically strong. So when I do
Right.
the check all the reflex points, whatever is weak and needs support, I support that with nutrition. And this is another challenge. Patients, some patients don't want to take the products, or they take it, they don't take it where they should take it, on and off, whatever. But to get the best results, you need to keep the body, as strong as possible.
100%, you know, 100%. People always ask me that. They go, "Oh, Chris, I don't need to do anything else." I'm like, "No, this is just the beginning. You need, you know, we get the structure right, get your focus right, and then there's everything else. You got to follow through. You know, you got to be it. You got to really be
Absolutely.
it." And you know, I'd add to what you're saying. What I find with a lot of people, they're more interested in getting rid of a diagnosis than they are about creating health.
Right.
And I'm into creating health, and I don't mind what your starting point is because I believe, you know, our body is here to produce a healthy body, is what it wants, but we must give it the right conditions, you know, the epigenetic conditions, the emotional conditions, the nutritional conditions, all the right conditions so it actually can respond, you know, to that. So I love what you're doing. And so if listeners are out there going, yeah, you know, I want to create a different relationship with health, how can they get in touch with you? Do you have a free session? Do you have other books?
No, well, they can always email me at, well, go to my website for one, which
Mm,
is www.dr, my last name, Coppola, Coppola, the word for health.com. They also email me at painreliefcare@ymail.com or call the office 914-592-1733. I'll answer any questions. People will call and ask me questions about what I do, if I can help them. That's all, that's fine. They can just email, text me, whatever.
oh, I love that. I'll put the email and the website underneath this video as well so people can find it really easily.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love people to reach out and create a different relationship with health, you know. It's such a
Yep.
big thing. And so we've got this amazing book coming out, Superconscious Transformation. If you're watching this, by the way, you know Dr. Charles has got the one of the chapters. I've written a chapter, and it's an amazing book of transformation from health to wealth to but everything around the superconscious. So, what would be your message to somebody that's wanting to create a new life and use the superconscious to do that? Why should they? You know, go and purchase this book.
To get a better understanding of what can be done.
Mm,
A lot of most of the patients come to me because, like I said, they're for pain or to change their health in one way or another. And Sometimes they're giving a diagnosis where there's no cure, there's no help. You have to live with it. It's really not
Yeah.
true. You know,
Right.
if you find the underlying reason, which is the why you have what you have, and treat it with the superconscious, you're going to respond. The
Yeah.
body wants to respond. It just needs
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. Well, I love that. My friend, it was so nice to be able to do this and share you with all of our people in the world, and to have this book coming out. I am thrilled. So, listeners, go get your copy of Superconscious Transformation. It's the first book in the Superconscious book series. Create that new reality. Get your focus in the right place, and allow yourself to experience something completely new outside of what you've tried before. Dr. Charles Coppola, I appreciate you, brother. And I'm so happy that you found our work and we get to share it with the world. And
Me too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
man, it's so nice. And I really do hope that anyone out there grabs your link below, emails you, and creates just a better world, you know. So thank you for your time, listeners. Go get your copy of the book, and we'll speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye.